Hello, welcome to Floyd Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got Eduard's latest boxing of the 1/48 scale X-1 Matchbuster. So as you can see, it's not going to be a massively overcomplicated kit, but it's definitely one of those ones which, if you want the sort of firsts in your collection, as in first through the sound barrier and things like that, this is definitely going to be one for you. Now this is the Profi pack, as you can see up here, which means normally you come with a little bit of photo etch and a little bit of resin, usual little bits and pieces to liven your kit up. Okay, just a little bit. So as you can see down here, not just the boring sort of orange scheme, we've actually got an Edwards Air Force Base one as well, okay, and a few other schemes of orange and white, which makes a nice little thing. Your kit number for this one is 8079, okay, just down in there, and a few bits. Alright, so in the box, as you can see, there isn't much to this, it sort of just slips around in here. Alright, so in the instructions, as you can imagine, it's not actually going to take much work down here. There is only 2 sprues and then a clear part as well. We do not actually use the wheels for this one. It's got the small little wheels on this. Obviously we've got resin upgrades, which are a very nice touch for this one. We also get a colour photo etch set as well for them, doing the harnesses, instrument panels, and a few other little bits and pieces, and of course a mask set, which is really handy in this particular one. So as you can see on the instructions, there isn't much to this. We've got a bulkhead going in, making up your cockpit, and obviously you'll be using all of that photo etch to liven up that area in there. A few more parts going down in there, and then putting the 2 halves together. Now it mentions weight, but it doesn't tell you how much, so I would always err on the edge of caution and put quite a bit in. Okay, so then literally 2 wings go on, 2 tail planes, and basically you've got the thrust nozzle at the back, which is a piece of photo etch, which you're going to want to paint that as well to put that in. Pitot tube, which you're going to need to drill into the wing as well, fit that one in. And then down on here we've got the various upgrade parts. So we've got the colour photo etch being laminated and then putting that in. We've also got the door, so I assume you can have open or closed, so you can put that in. Again, a couple of little bits of photo etch just down there. Canopy being fitted on with the rudder pedals and everything going down in there. The nose probe being put on the front, and then obviously down in here we got the thing where we've actually got the wheel going in the front there, just a little one being fitted in there, and then we got the main gear going in at the back with those resin wheels and showing obviously the angles of how that's actually going to work in there, just like that. Then we got our colour callouts, as you can see, so we've basically got just one in orange. All right, okay, so that is 1947. 1950s with a very striking orange and white, which is a real nice one because, as I say, it's got one wing that's white as well, just breaks it up, makes it look a little bit different. 1946, again back in the orange as well, okay, or we got this lovely one in the white, which actually is, I must admit, maybe the way I'll do it, absolutely fantastic in the white scheme, something a little bit different from October 1947 out of Edwards. Again, it's not a massively complicated kit, it's quite a straightforward build on that, but again, it's one of those nice little iconic aircraft that I think is very well deserved in everyone's collection. So down in here, as we can see, we've got a tiny little bit there. We have the fuselage. So as you can see, very nice. Nothing much to this one, but it has got fine engraved details all the way over. I don't think they're the sharpest. We have seen probably a lot nicer, but the riveting detail all looks quite nice. I've got no problems with that at all. The shape all looks good. It's all nicely blended in and everything else. It's just completely lacking in any detail, but you could do a nice little bit of detailing work on this one. Again, you've got things like the doors on the side here. It's not the sharpest in the world, but you know, it's not an overly complicated kit. The thing itself as well, because it's a limited run, these big lumps at the back, you want to get rid of those and sand those out, otherwise you're going to have some fit issues, but generally the rest of it you should be fine. It is a limited run kit, so be mindful that little things you won't see is things like locating pins and stuff like that. Okay, so from that point of view, just be aware that line up and that will just take a little bit more work, but something like this actually can be a little bit easier, not having to worry about those. Again, these ejector pins just down, you see here, and there's one here. I would make sure you get those flush. They are standing proud, and it could give you a little bit of issues pushing it together. Again, these little activators down here on the tail planes might be worth just sanding them back just a little bit. I'm not sure which one the actual aircraft uses, because obviously you've got a choice of 2 in here, but those look a little bit heavy. I'd probably like to replace those with thinner plastic card, or definitely a little bit of photo etch down in there. But generally, it is what it is. It's quite small. This thing's only going to measure just over 19 centimeters in total without the nose tube on there, but with the nose tube again it's going to make it around about, I would say, I don't know, maybe 21 centimeters, so nothing really over the top, but generally the detail is all there. Then we've actually got the wings again, but they're pretty devoid of any detail, as you can see down there, but generally, you know, for what you've got is absolutely fine and adequate. Okay, and then moving with the rest of the parts, again, you've got this nozzle, but we have got photo etch we'll have a look at the moment. Some of the other little areas, you say, we'll be transferring it. The wheels would be not exactly brilliant, but again, we'll check out those in a bit. And generally some of the other areas, very crude, but by the time it has had that level of detail added to it with the colour photo etch set, it should really bring it all up to standard. Okay, the canopy itself is in this little baggie just here. Okay, and you can see very fine, and it's very clear. There's nothing wrong with that at all. To be honest, Eduard do some nice casting, and this is no exception. Really nicely done. Pretty good on that one, and we'll keep that safe back in his little baggie. All right, pop that in there. Now, in here, this is where we've got the nice bits. We do have a couple of little resin wheels. I won't bother getting these out, which are weight on wheels, which is really nice. And as you can see, the level of detail in these is a million times the improvement of what we've just seen, right the way down to the brakes on them and all the rest of it. Definitely well worth the upgrade. The colour photo etch set, again, beautifully done. As you can see it just down in here. For the various different ones that you'll be using and everything else, and I said a worthy upgrade to the bike. But just the way the harnesses have been done, they are very, very nice with that sort of blended dirt look to them, and the shadowing and everything else like that. So that is really nice to see. Mask set, as we know, this is, or I'm hoping it is, pre-cut down inside there. I won't worry about getting it out because I don't think you'll really see it, but you can see it in there. It is cut and everything else. That's very nice. And of course, the all-important decals. So let's just have a look at these. Get them out the little bag. So again, small but perfectly well formed. Okay, so these are very nice actually, pretty good. I must admit, when I first looked at these just then, I thought, oh, hello, but actually, I don't think they're too bad at all. Very nice indeed. So they seem to be nice and thin. I can't see any problems with them at all. The carrier film's quite light. Yeah, I should think it'd be perfectly adequate. Very nice indeed. So there we go. Small but perfectly formed. Again, you don't need to build huge big kits and all the rest of it to get a very nice level of detail, again, in something small. Right, you could even upgrade this. You know, you could go in the wheel wells, put a little bit of livening into those and various bits and pieces, but generally this is just an overall aircraft. Okay, there's no bits that are open and all the rest of it, so it should build up to be something very, very nice. But the simple way of adding a little bit of colour photo etch, a little bit of resin wheels and everything else like that, you are going to end up with a really nice plane at the end of the day. So there we go. If you are after something a little bit different, it's one of the sort of record-breaking aircraft that we've had in the world, this is definitely going to be the kit for you, and definitely in a Profi pack it makes it almost perfect.